My girlfriend deleted me from her Instagram for aesthetic independence, so I cut her off financially and everything exploded Reddit stories. One moment I was the boyfriend funding half her lifestyle, and the next I was erased from her feed like I'd never existed. When I removed her access to my credit card, she unleashed a storm of rage, accusations, family guilt campaigns, and even HR complaints. Hi, I'm Owen, 29, and my relationship combusted last week because my girlfriend decided her Instagram aesthetic mattered more than the guy funding half her lifestyle. We'd been dating 14 months. Good months, I thought. I work in IT, decent salary, very boring LinkedIn presence. She's 25, self-proclaimed content creator, meaning she posts mirror selfies, iced latte shots, and generic motivational quotes about soft life energy. Makes about $600 a month doing it. 6 months ago, she asked to be added as an authorized user on one of my credit cards for shared purchases. It made sense at the time: weekend trips, groceries, date nights. I put a $2,500 limit on her card. Reasonable, right? Shared expenses lasted about 2 weeks. Suddenly the card was covering business essentials, skincare she needed for product reviews, outfits for TikTok transitions, candles for ambience, and $17 iced coffees that apparently photographed better than the $4 ones. I noticed. I said nothing. I was trying to be a supportive boyfriend, not a financial advisor. Then last Thursday at lunch, I opened Instagram and saw she'd done a full rebrand: beige aesthetic, neutral tones, artsy shots of her hand holding coffee cups. It looked nice, honestly. Until I realized something. Every photo of us together was gone. Our anniversary picture? Gone. Weekend trip to the coast? Gone. Her birthday dinner, which I paid for, gone. I scrolled back a year and a half. I didn't exist. Like the men in black wiped me out for her influencer era. I texted her immediately. Me, hey, did you delete all our photos? Her, yeah. I'm curating my feed. Couple pics kill engagement. Me, you didn't think to mention it? Her, babe, it's Instagram. Not that deep. I need a clean aesthetic for brand deals. Me, so I just don't fit the aesthetic now? Her, don't be dramatic. You know I love you. But my followers respond to independent girl vibes. Independent girl vibes. On my credit card. I sat in my office staring at that message, feeling something cold settle in. That night, I went home, logged into my account, clicked remove authorized user, and watched her card vanish from my profile. Took 30 seconds. I didn't text her. Didn't call. Didn't explain. If I don't fit the aesthetic, she can fund her aesthetic herself. 2 hours later, my phone started blowing up. Blocked number. Voicemails. Mom music in the background. Her panicked voice saying, "Owen, my card declined. Fix this right now. You're embarrassing me." I made dinner instead. And that was only the beginning. By the time I woke up Friday morning, she had gone full apocalyptic meltdown. I unblocked her number just long enough to see what she'd sent. 67 texts. Every emotion known to humankind represented. The first ones were frantic. Her, "Owen, my card declined?" Her, "I'm literally at Sephora, this is humiliating." Her, "Answer me." Then came irritation. Her, "Why would you do this?" Her, "It's just Instagram." Her, "You're being childish." Then rage. Her, "This is financial abuse." Her, "You can't cut off your girlfriend." And finally, desperation. Her, "Just turn it back on." Her, "I'll repost one pic of us." Her, "Please." People saw. People saw. Not that she deleted me. Not that she'd been spending my money like Monopoly cash. No, people witnessed her card getting declined. Tragic. I texted back one thing. Me, don't come to my place. We're done. Good luck with your aesthetic. Then I reblocked her. She did not take that well. Saturday morning, my doorbell camera lit up. There she was, pounding on my door like she was trying to break into a bunker during an apocalypse. Owen! Open the door! Stop being ridiculous! We need to talk! I watched from the couch, eating cereal. She eventually left. I thought that was the end of it. Then her best friend began her shift as entitlement manager. Best friend, she's crying. You're destroying her dream. Me, she deleted me from her life for a grid pattern. Best friend, it's her brand. Why don't you support her? Me, I did. With my wallet. That era is over. Best friend, you are so selfish. Blocked. Then came her mother. Because why wouldn't this escalate into a family affair? She called from an unknown number. Owen, this is her mother. She tells me you cruelly revoked her financial access. Ma'am, it was MY credit card. She needs that card to invest in her business. She cannot maintain her online presence without resources. You mean brunch and boutique halls? Click. She hung up on me. To top it off, that evening my ex sent me a long email explaining. Deleting me was a business decision. I should have respected her creative vision. Removing her card access was punitive behavior. And she needed me to Venmo her $1,750 to cover upcoming content expenses. I replied, no. Just that. Blocked the email. Sunday morning, someone rang my doorbell again. Through the camera, I saw her mom, and the best friend. I opened the door but kept the chain on. Her mother, we are here to fix this. Me, there's nothing to fix. Her, why are you being so mean to me? I said I'm sorry. Me, okay. When's my birthday? Silence. Her mom looked at her. Her friend looked at her. She looked like she'd just been asked to solve astrophysics. Me, yeah. That's what I thought. Goodbye. Closed the door. She screamed something about ruining her life as they left. Then she sent a Venmo request. $3,000, emotional damages. Declined. $2,000, be fair. Declined. $500. I need groceries. Declined. Almost felt bad, until I remembered her $30 Starbucks orders last month on my card. Almost. Monday morning, I thought maybe, the storm had finally blown over. I was wrong. At 9:12 a.m., my boss emailed me. Subject, come see me when you have a moment. Fantastic. I walked in, and he spun his monitor toward me with this look that said, your personal life is now my problem. On the screen? An email from my ex. A dramatic, paragraph-long novella accusing me of financial control, emotional manipulation, sabotaging her career, and inflicting reputational harm. She'd CC'd HR. My boss sighed. Do I need to worry about this? No. Absolutely not. She's upset I removed her from a credit card. He blinked. That's it. That's it. He deleted the email, turned back to me, and said, document everything. And maybe date someone who doesn't treat Instagram like a religion. I left his office both mortified and oddly validated. Then things escalated again. Of course. Tuesday afternoon, a letter showed up in my mailbox. A real letter. From a law office. Inside was a demand for payment. $4,200 for financial support promised and relied upon. I laughed so hard I almost dislocated something. I called the number. Hi, yeah, I'm the guy your client is trying to extort. The lawyer sounded exhausted, like mine was the 6th call that day about OnlyFans divorces or something. Sir, my client has indicated you agreed to fund her business. I never agreed to fund anything. She had an authorized user card that I revoked. Well, she has messages suggesting you supported her goals. Supported mentally, not financially. Unless encouragement counts as a legally binding contract now? Silence. My client is prepared to pursue this in small claims. he said weakly. Great, I said. We'll both enjoy that comedy show. I hung up and immediately contacted my buddy Dan, who's a lawyer with the personality of a tired golden retriever. Dan laughed so hard I had to hold the phone away from my ear. She has no case, he said. I'll write a response letter telling them to pound sand. And he did. But the best was yet to come. Wednesday morning, my friend texted, Bro, check her Instagram story. I didn't want to. I had unblocked her temporarily just to see what was going on. Bad decision. She'd posted a 12-slide saga about being a victim of financial abuse, implying I cut her off maliciously once she started thriving. Thrive? She couldn't remember my birthday. The comments were a mix of, You deserve better, 2 hearts. Men are trash face with steam from nose. Queen energy. And then one brave person asked, Didn't you delete him from your feed first? Silence. But the gold medal moment was still coming. That evening, I got a call from an unfamiliar number. Hey man, this is her cousin. Here we go. He launched into a speech about family struggle, how she's in a dark place, and how I owe it to her to help financially until she gets back on her feet. I asked one question. Why don't you give her money? Because she drains people, dude. The honesty slipped out. I hung up. And then she texted. One more time. From a new number. Her, I'll put the photos back up. All of them. Just reinstate the card. Me, no. Her, I said I'm sorry. Me, when's my birthday? Her, stop using that against me. Me, you don't know because you didn't care. Goodbye. Blocked. Again. And this time felt permanent. By Thursday I thought I'd seen peak absurdity. I was wrong. So very, very wrong. The package. I got home from work, and there was a cardboard box at my door. Addressed to me in handwriting I recognized instantly. I opened it. Inside? Everything I ever gave her. Birthday gifts. Anniversary presents. A hoodie she borrowed, and never returned. A book we read together. Even a mug she once said was her favorite. On top was a note. I don't need reminders of people who abandoned me. Funny, because she abandoned me from her Instagram feed for the aesthetic. I took the hoodie out, shook it once, and immediately wore it. It was a good hoodie. I'm not going to let heartbreak waste good cotton. The roommate call. Friday morning, I got an unexpected call from her roommate, the only sane person in her orbit. Hey. I thought you should know what's actually going on. That's how you know something bad is coming. She continued. She's been telling everyone you promised to support her financially while she built her brand. What? When? She said you insisted she quit her part-time job to focus on her dreams? That was new. And fiction. And she told her family, the roommate said, that the credit card was basically your contribution to her career. My blood pressure nearly opened a portal. Also, the roommate added, she's been applying to influencer events and telling people she's rebuilding after a traumatic breakup with a controlling man. So I was now her villain origin story. Great. The lawyer follow up. That afternoon, her lawyer responded to my lawyer friend Dan's letter. It read, After review, our client is reassessing her legal options. Translation. They realized the case had the structural integrity of wet paper. The best friend's meltdown. Around 6 p.m. I got a text from her best friend, from a new number, because I'd blocked her old one. Best friend, do you realize she can't even afford content anymore? Me good. Best friend, you're heartless. Me, she deleted me for her aesthetic. I deleted her access for mine. Balance. Best friend, she's losing followers. Me, so she finally knows how I felt when she erased me? Best friend, you are so petty. Me correct. Blocked. Again. The big reveal. The roommate called me again later that night, her voice dropping low. There's something else you should know. What now? She's been seeing someone. Wait, while she was begging me for money? Yeah. A photographer she met at an influencer meetup. I just stared at the wall. That explained the sudden, "I love you" texts when the money dried up. The real turning point. I went onto her Instagram, just to see. There she was. New hair. New outfits. New captions. New. Healed girl energy. But guess what? She still hadn't posted a single photo of the new guy. Because apparently he doesn't fit the aesthetic either. And that's when it finally clicked. She didn't delete me. She deletes anyone who doesn't look good on her grid. I was never her boyfriend. I was a prop she outgrew. That, weirdly, made everything easier. All the anger drained out. And what was left? A kind of relief I hadn't felt in months. I wasn't heartbroken. I was free. The next wave of chaos hit Saturday morning at 9:14 a.m., precisely when I was making pancakes and minding my own peace. My phone buzzed, not a call, not a text. A bank alert. Your card ending in 42 was used for a charge of $312.67 at Aura Luxe Boutique. Impossible. I'd removed her access. I opened the transaction details. It wasn't on the card she used. It was on my personal card. The one stored in my Apple Pay. The one kept in my wallet. The one she should have had zero access to. Except. Then it hit me. 3 months ago, while we were booking flights, she had used my phone. Just to grab a screenshot. Apparently, she'd added my main card to her Apple Pay without me noticing. My pancakes burned. My soul burned harder. I immediately called the bank. "Hi, I need to report unauthorized charges." The rep froze when she saw the full list. $312 boutique. $87 salon. $54 Glow Tea Lounge. $129 makeup store. $26 DoorDash. $48 candles. All within the last 14 hours. She was speedrunning my credit limit like it was Mario Kart. The rep canceled the card, refunded everything, and told me, "Mr. Owens, you are the third person this week calling about an influencer X who memorized a credit card." I don't know whether that made me feel better or worse. Then the knock happened. Around noon, the doorbell camera pinged. She was back. No entourage this time. No best friend. No mom. Just her, standing there in sunglasses, holding a shopping bag like she was starring in a low-budget reality show. I opened the door, but not wide. Just enough so she knew I wasn't hiding. She didn't say hello. She just launched in. "You canceled the wrong card." "The wrong? There shouldn't have been any card." "Don't act dumb, Owen. You know I need resources. I have content to make. You also have a job application to make." She scoffed like I'd insulted her ancestors. Then she walked right past me. Or tried to. I blocked the doorway. "This is harassment," she said. "No. Using my card after I revoked permission is harassment." She folded her arms. Her tone switched from angry to manipulative sweet. "Can we please just go back to how things were? You supporting me, me supporting you?" I raised an eyebrow. "In what way did you support me?" She blinked. Hard. Then shrugged. "I posted you in a story once." That was her contribution. One disappearing Instagram story. I almost laughed. Almost. Then came the sentence that defined everything. "You owe me for the months I spent trying to build my brand while you benefited from being with me." I owe her. For being with her. That was it. The exact moment the universe aligned every red flag into a giant flashing sign. I stepped back inside. "I'm done. Leave." She glared, then tried to force tears that didn't come. "You'll regret this," she whispered. Not even a little. And I closed the door. She stood there for maybe 30 seconds. Then the doorbell rang again. And again. And again. I went to the kitchen, poured coffee, turned on music, and ignored it. The bell stopped. The camera showed her stomping off like an angry raccoon in designer boots. But the best part? A minute later, I received a text from an unknown number. My card isn't working again. Fix it. I replied. Me, by your own aesthetic. Blocked. It felt incredible. By Sunday, I thought she had finally exhausted every angle of manipulation known to humankind. Nope. She leveled up. The cousin intervention. Around 11 a.m., I got a text from another unfamiliar number. Cousin, hey bro, this is her cousin. Cousin, heard you're making things hard for her. Me, who gave you my number? Cousin, not important. Listen, she's really struggling. Cousin, family is helping her out. Figured you'd want to contribute. Contribute. To the woman who deleted me from her life for colors that matched her feed. Me, why would I contribute? Cousin, because you're the reason she can't afford groceries. Me, she spent $300 on candles yesterday. Cousin, it's for content. I stared at the screen. Me, you help her if you care so much. Cousin, she drains people, man. Cousin, we can't keep doing it. Me, exactly. Blocked. Meanwhile, her influencer career took a hit. A coworker texted me a screenshot from her story. A black screen with white text. Red flag. When a man punishes you financially because he can't handle your success. Success? Her biggest brand deal was a promo code for teeth whitening strips. But sure. Go off. The comments were wild. Girl, leave him. That's abuse. You're so brave. Then one person wrote. Didn't you delete him from your feed first? She deleted the comment in 30 seconds. But not before it got screenshotted and sent to me by 3 separate people. The roommate again. That evening, her roommate called. She's spiraling, she said. Crying on the floor 1 minute, posting thirst traps the next. She's telling everyone she was financially blindsided. I removed her from a credit card. Not her lungs. She also said you destroyed her career? What career? She films lattes. The roommate snorted. Then she hesitated. There's something else. Of course there was. She's applying for influencer grants. And she's listing you as a former financial sponsor, trying to use that to look more legitimate. I nearly dropped my phone. Is that even legal? I asked. I don't think she knows what legal means, the roommate replied. Then came the cherry on top. Around 9 p.m., I got a notification from Venmo. A payment request. $120. For gas, since I can't afford it now. I declined. 10 seconds later. $80. For groceries? Declined. 5 seconds later. $20. Please, I'm actually hungry. I stared at that one for a long moment. Almost felt something human. Almost. Then I remembered the $300 boutique charge from the night before and declined. Then she sent one last message. From yet another number. Fine. I get it. You're done. Just tell me one thing. Was I ever enough for you? And for the first time throughout this whole circus, I answered honestly. Me, you could have been. Me, but you cared more about strangers online than the person standing right in front of you. 3 dots. Then nothing. No fight. No guilt trip. No tantrum. Just silence. And I realized. She finally understood she couldn't manipulate her way back into my life. I thought silence meant she'd finally accepted reality. Wrong. It meant she was regrouping. The rebrand. Monday morning, a friend messaged me. Dude, did you see her new username? I hadn't. I checked from a burner account. She'd rebranded. At Solitude and Strength. Her bio? Healing from financial trauma. Learning my worth. Solo queen energy. My eyes rolled so hard I saw my own brain. She posted a 10-slide carousel titled, How to survive leaving a toxic relationship. Slide 1. A sad beige aesthetic latte. Slide 2. Her staring out a window. Slide 3. Rule number 1. Cut off anyone who drains your energy. Slide 4. Rule number 2. Don't rely on unstable partners financially. Slide 5. A quote she definitely didn't write. Slide 7 hit me personally. He couldn't handle my rise. So he tried to control me. But I chose me. My friend captioned the screenshot. Bro. You chose to cut her off. She's rewriting the entire plot. Then came the DMs. A random guy messaged me. Hey man, I'm dating your ex now. Can you explain what happened? She said you ruined her career? I laughed out loud. Me. She spent my money on Starbucks and deleted me from her IG feed. Him. Oh, yeah, that sounds like her. 2 hours later, he blocked me. Guess he found out the hard way. The final escalation. That evening, her MOM texted me from a new number. You broke my daughter. I hope you're happy. I ignored it. She texted again. She hasn't left her room all day. Again ignored. Then the final message came. She just wants closure. Please meet with her once. Just to talk. I stared at the screen. Closure isn't owed. And talking wasn't going to change anything. But before I could decide, another text arrived. From her. A single line. Can you meet me tomorrow? Just 10 minutes? And I knew. This story wasn't done yet. She took a shaky breath, stirring her latte like it held all the answers. I wasn't trying to erase you, she said softly. I just needed my feed to look cleaner. Brands care about that stuff. I nodded. Okay. And the credit card? That hit her like a slap. I panicked, she admitted. You cut me off with no warning. Do you know how humiliating it was to have my card decline in front of people? Do you know how humiliating it was to realize my girlfriend scrubbed me from her life for beige tones? Silence. She looked down. I didn't think you'd take it so personally. You deleted me. Not clutter. Not old selfies. Me. She swallowed hard. I need you to understand something, she said. Being an influencer is harder than people think. The aesthetic matters. Engagement matters. If people think I'm tied down, it hurts my brand. I raised an eyebrow. So being in a relationship with me was hurting your success? She nodded miserably. My followers like independent girl vibes. And your independent girl vibe was funded by my credit card. She flinched. I get it, she whispered. I'm sorry. I was selfish. I should have talked to you. I shouldn't have used the card like that. I thought you'd always support me. That's the problem. I said. You didn't think. You assumed. She wiped a tear quickly, like she didn't want to ruin her mascara. Can we fix this? She whispered. I'll put the photos back. All of them. I'll apologize online if you want. I'll delete the posts about financial trauma. I'll do anything. That was new. But it didn't hit the way she hoped. Why? I asked. Why now? She looked straight at me. Because I'm losing followers. My engagement is tanking. People are asking what really happened. Brands are pulling back. I need stability right now. I need. She stopped. She realized what she almost said. She didn't need me. She needed the life I made easier. And she knew I knew it. Her eyes widened, like she wanted to rewind her own words. I mean, I need you, she stammered. As a partner. Not for money. For emotional support. I leaned back. Tell me my birthday. Her mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. Nothing came out. Same blank stare as before. And right then, watching her struggle to recall the simplest, most basic piece of me, I knew. She didn't want us. She wanted access. And she knew the door was closing. She reached across the table, voice breaking. Please. I promise I'll be better. I didn't take her hand. I didn't raise my voice. I just said, you already had the chance to be better. And you chose your aesthetic. She froze. Because that was the truth she'd been avoiding. And now she had to sit in it. She sat back slowly, like the weight of reality finally hit her chest. For a moment, she didn't cry. Didn't yell. Didn't posture. She just sat there. I really messed this up, didn't I? She whispered. You did, I said. But I think you messed up long before the photos. She blinked at that. What do you mean? You stopped treating me like a partner months ago. I was a convenience. A wallet. A background character in your curated life. That's not fair, she said quietly. It's exactly fair, I replied. You deleted the parts of your life that didn't get likes. Even if it was me. She opened her mouth, but I kept going. You never once asked how I felt about being erased. You didn't even think I'd care. I thought you'd understand, she said, voice tiny. I did understand, I said. Just not the way you wanted. She took a shaky sip of her latte, hands trembling. I wish, she said slowly, that you told me before it got this bad. Told you what? I asked. That you felt sidelined. I almost laughed. How was I supposed to tell you? Every time I brought up something about our relationship, it became about your brand, your aesthetic, your followers. She stared down. I know, she murmured. I see that now. Then she looked back up, eyes genuinely wet this time. I don't want to lose you. You already did, I said gently. You just didn't realize it until the money stopped. She let out a choke sound, half gasp, half sob. And for a split second, I almost felt bad. Almost. But then she asked, can you just give me one more chance? I shook my head. This isn't about second chances. This is who you are right now. She wiped her cheek with the back of her hand. And then she whispered the most honest thing she'd said all day. I don't know how to fix myself if you're not around. And that told me everything. She didn't want me. She wanted someone to take responsibility for her growth. Her life. Her choices. Her bills. Her persona. She wanted a life raft, not a relationship. I leaned forward. You need to fix yourself for you, not for whoever's footing the bill. She swallowed, nodding slowly. I'm scared, she said. I don't know how to do life without someone supporting me. It's time to learn. She looked at me for a long time. Really looked. And in that moment I could see it, the flicker of understanding. Not acceptance. Not accountability. Just fear. Fear of losing the lifestyle, not the relationship. Fear of the real world without a financial safety net. Fear that the aesthetic wasn't enough to live on. And that's when she said it. Then, is this goodbye? I exhaled. It's closure. She nodded, staring into her latte like it was going to save her. Then she stood. Collected her purse. Wiped her tears carefully, like she was avoiding smudging her makeup. Goodbye, she whispered. She walked out of the cafe without looking back. And for the first time since this chaos began, I felt nothing but relief. I stayed in the cafe for a while after she left, letting the silence settle. It felt clean. Like someone had finally turned off a noise I didn't realize had been droning in the background for months. I tossed my empty cup, stepped outside, and that's when it happened. My phone buzzed. A notification from a mutual friend. Dude! Check her story. Of course. I opened a burner account and looked. And there it was, a brand new post, already racking up likes. A black and white photo of her sitting alone at a cafe table, chin in hand, staring dramatically into the distance. Caption. Sometimes the hardest part of letting go is accepting that the person you loved was never who you thought they were. I actually snorted. The photo was taken in the same cafe. 10 minutes after she walked out. She must have asked someone to photograph her breakup. Then came a second slide. Healing isn't linear, but choosing yourself is always the right answer. And a third. To the one who couldn't handle my growth. I forgive you. Forgive me? For what? Ending her free credit card perks. My phone buzzed again. Another message from that mutual friend. Bro, she tagged the location. People in the comments are already calling you toxic. I didn't respond. Didn't even feel angry. Just tired. Because of course she couldn't leave the breakup untouched. Of course she had to turn it into content. Of course she had to rewrite the narrative so she was the phoenix rising from the ashes of my supposed toxicity. And of course, she couldn't resist one final dig disguised as empowerment. I slipped my phone into my pocket. Because it didn't matter. It wasn't my responsibility anymore. Let her curate whatever story she needs to survive the version of herself she created online. I walked home with the kind of calm you don't get often in life. The calm that comes from choosing yourself for once. And knowing deep down, you made the right choice. By Monday, I figured things had finally burned out. She'd posted her dramatic breakup montage. Her followers had flooded the comments with digital sympathy. Her family stopped calling. She had a new, solo queen, persona to maintain. Surely, that was the end. But with her, endings were just openings for new chaos. HR call, the sequel. At 10 a.m., my work phone rang. Hey, can you come to HR for a moment? My stomach dropped. Not again. I walked in and found my HR rep holding a printed page. She slid it across the table. She filed a complaint, she said. But don't worry, it's thin. I looked at the page. It was an email from my ex. A 4-paragraph dramatic novella about how I'd emotionally manipulated her, denied her access to agreed-upon financial resources, and caused her significant trauma impacting her livelihood. She even attached screenshots of her Instagram stories as evidence. HR waited for my reaction. I looked up. She's upset because I removed her as an authorized user from my personal credit card. HR blinked. That's it. That's it. HR sighed, the tired adult sigh of someone who desperately wants to go home early. We'll document this as personal relationship conflict outside of work. You're fine. But do me a favor, block her everywhere. I already did. Then block her again. The roommate update, part 2. That evening, her roommate called again. Okay, so, she's on a downward spiral. Define spiral. She signed up for 4 online coaching programs in one night. Manifestation, personal branding, feminine energy alignment, abundance mindsets. I rubbed my forehead. Why are you telling me this? Because she keeps saying, I'll win him back and prove everyone wrong. I froze. Win me back? Yes. But not for love. More like, to prove she still has influence. There it was. Her whole identity was built on how things looked, not how things were. Is she planning anything? Like showing up again? Not yet. She's trying something else first. Oh good, I said dryly. What now? She's making a YouTube video. I stared. What kind of video? The roommate hesitated. The kind titled, My Story, How I Survived Financial Control and Emotional Abandonment. I put a hand over my face. Is she using my name? No. But the details are very obvious. Of course. Influencer breakup arc, achieved. Victim storyline, acquired. Empathy farming content, posting soon. Then came the kicker. The roommate lowered her voice. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but she's also planning a second video. What now? It's called How I Rebuilt My Life After Losing Everything. I blinked. Everything? She lost my credit card. I know, the roommate whispered. But she needs a dramatic arc. Of course she did. Because real life wasn't aesthetic enough. The turning point. After I hung up, I did something I hadn't done in weeks. I sat in total silence. No texts. No calls. No screenshots. No drama. And for the first time since the breakup began, I felt it fully. Peace. Not the quiet before the storm peace. The actual kind. The kind where you know the storm isn't your responsibility anymore. And that's when I realized there's only one direction left for this story to go. And it's not back to her. By midweek, her YouTube, Healing Era, officially launched. I didn't watch it. Didn't need to. Because my phone started lighting up like a Christmas tree. Friends. Coworkers. Even my cousin. Everyone sending the same screenshot. Her video thumbnail. A sad beige background. Her looking tearfully at the floor. Text over it. I was financially controlled by someone I loved. I almost admired the consistency of her victim branding. Almost. But here's where it got interesting. Her video didn't go the way she wanted. At all. Because people in the comments weren't buying it. Apparently, viewers were asking very basic questions she didn't think through. Why was he paying for everything if you were so independent? Wait, you deleted him from your IG? Why? Why did he have to cut you off? What were you spending? Did you two even live together? This feels like entitlement, not abuse. And then the big one. Why didn't you know his birthday? Someone must have leaked that. Meanwhile, she started losing followers. Her roommate texted me. She's freaking out. She lost 700 followers in a day. She's yelling at her ring light right now. Good. Maybe the universe finally decided to charge her for the nonsense. Then something happened I did not expect. Thursday night, around 9 p.m., I got a call from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Then I listened. It was her dad. Not her mom. Not her cousin. Not the brother who tried to guilt-trip me. Her dad. A quiet, steady voice. Hey, this is, well, you know who. I just wanted to apologize. For everything. For the way the family acted. For the expectations put on you. She's stubborn. Her mother raised her to think she's entitled to certain things. But she's not malicious, just lost. Anyway, you didn't deserve any of this. I hope you're doing okay. I sat there for a long moment, phone in my hand. Didn't expect that one. Then came the second voicemail. Her mother. And it was very different. You ruined her career. Do you hear me? Ruined it. She is devastated and humiliated. You could have handled this privately. Instead, you let her spiral. Delete. Not my circus, not my clown. The roommate sent one last update. A text late that night. She deleted the breakup video. Said it made her look bad. Now she's talking about making a comeback post about learning from her mistakes. And she said something weird. I raised an eyebrow. Weird how? The roommate replied. She said, if I can get him back, it'll fix my engagement and my life. And that was the moment I knew. She wasn't done. She wasn't close to done. She wasn't even in the same universe as done. She was plotting a comeback arc. A redemption narrative. A reconciliation storyline. Because she didn't want me. She wanted a plot twist. I didn't answer her message. Didn't need to. There comes a point where the story stops being about the other person entirely, and this was that moment. No more reacting to the theatrics. No more getting pulled into a narrative she was desperate to control. No more letting my peace depend on whether someone else understood or respected my boundaries. I spent the rest of the night cleaning my place. Not in the dramatic, symbolic, fresh start way, just putting actual, physical space back in order. And somewhere between taking out the trash and folding laundry, it hit me how quiet everything felt. Quiet in a good way. Quiet in a real way. No constant notifications. No brand emergencies. No. Babe, can you spot me until next week? No subtle guilt trips. No aesthetic crises. No seeing myself disappear from someone's life in favor of bait tones and engagement metrics. Just quiet. And mine. The next morning, I went to my usual coffee shop. Sat by the window. Read a book for the first time in months without checking my phone every 10 minutes. The barista asked where my girlfriend was. I just smiled and said, "Taking some space." Not a lie. She was taking space from my bank account. Around noon, I got a text from an unfamiliar number. I recognized the cadence instantly. "I just want closure. Can we talk like adults?" I stared at it. Thought about everything: the deleted photos, the entitlement, the meltdown at the mall, the lawyer letter, the family's guilt campaign, the fake victim posts, the Venmo begging, the bizarre request for a testimonial. And then I thought, I don't owe her a finale. This isn't a TV show. I'm not her character arc. So I blocked the number without replying. That was the closure. 2 days later, a mutual friend mentioned she'd posted a "moving on" photo shoot. Soft lighting, inspirational quotes, captions about healing from financial trauma, the usual performance. Let her. She can build whatever story she needs to get through her day. That's her world, not mine anymore. Meanwhile, my own life quietly rearranged itself into something better. My new girlfriend, the teacher, met me after work and asked if I wanted to grab dinner. We sat at a tiny place she loved, eating food I could actually afford without subsidizing someone else's influencer lifestyle. She told me about a chaotic parent-teacher conference, and I laughed harder than I had in months. When the bill came, she insisted on paying because she got paid yesterday and felt fancy. It wasn't about the money. It was about the balance. Someone giving back, not just taking. When we walked out into the night, she slipped her hand into mine without posing for a single photo. No aesthetic. No angle. Just a moment between two people who were actually present. And that's when I understood the real lesson. I wasn't losing a girlfriend. I was losing an unpaid internship at someone else's imaginary brand. And gaining a life that didn't revolve around being a supporting character in a curated feed. The ex kept posting. Kept deleting. Kept rebranding. But me? I just kept living. In the real world. With real people. And real peace. Honestly? Best aesthetic I've ever had.